Good afternoon. I'm back in front of Frank here. After the primer job yesterday, we're getting ready to peel off the tape.
On the show, on the Chad Keegan YouTube channel.
I'm going to probably take this off. The blue's still going to be on here, then I'll climb up and start doing the windows, etc. So this stuff really didn't stick very well. The screen tape was kind of cheaper when I got it from Menards, so I guess that's what I get. But peel this off. Hopefully this stuff, I was hoping it would all come off at once, which most of it is, but since there's so many pieces on here, it's just what it is, if you will. Over here. Let's go over here and see how this stuff comes off here on this window pane, because it's a pane. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Now I would leave this, but I don't necessarily want to leave this crap on while I'm gone, because like that shit that was still on there and sticky, it may leave stuff if it sits for too long. But I guess I won't buy that green tape anymore. Cheap stuff is no point. I'll get off there. Got this stuff all stuck to my hand here. Come on. All right. Yep. Well, this stuff's gonna take me a while probably. Let's see if this one will peel off without ripping. Here we go. I was hoping it'd get under that and take all that off. Here we go. Look at that. And a few more pieces here. And you can see on that window that there's green splatter from before when old boy was painting. He didn't go shy at all. Which I did end up spraying in all those cracks and crevices, and I said I was going to leave some, but there is still some green that is in there. And I highly doubt I'll even sand that stuff. I may just leave that a textured look. I don't know. I guess only time will tell what happens with me and what I do with this truck. I've stated a few times here some of my ideas and thoughts. Now, I haven't stated them all, which I guess I did, because I kind of showed in the beginning when I had that that pinstripe job on there. That's gonna be a fucking pain. Pardon the old French. Get off of there. Now, how many pieces did Chad have on here? I don't know. Too many. That's how many. Too many. Curious to see how the doors look here. So I'll come back to this stuff here in a little bit, because I ain't really worried about it. Doing all this crap on camera. I can do it afterwards when I'm off camera. Good morning, everybody, and how are we? Oh, we're back with another fun-filled episode of Chad working on this old truck, and getting ready to sand. I took the liberty to go to the O'Reilly's, and I picked up some of that spot glazing because I'd been watching some videos last night, doing some research, because I ordered my paint yesterday, and it is a single stage acrylic enamel, iridium silver metallic, and I wanted to see how that stuff laid, try to get some tips, you know what I'm saying, because I don't necessarily know any painters that I can just talk to, or anybody that's done this. I know people that have done it, but I don't like to bug people that I know are busy. So I went and picked that stuff up this morning because I was watching the Team Steam videos and just some other things. Unfortunately, that guy doesn't necessarily get into the paint he uses or anything like that. He just kind of shows his progress as he's going. So what I'm going to do first, and I like to watch other people just to see, you know what I'm saying, when I'm getting ready to get into something that I've never necessarily done before. Like, yes, I've shot with a gun before, done the frames and stuff, but nothing to this magnitude, especially laying a metallic down that wasn't in a spray can with a gun. So I was trying to search different stuff and what to do, and that's one of the things that's not the best for a beginner, but at the same time I'm going to do it anyways because I like to try new things, and even if it's going to be hard or something that might be a little bit frustrating, I'd like to try it anyways, because I don't want to, you know, just do some basic stuff and have it looking basic, because I like my stuff to be a little bit different. So, and I was watching airbrush videos because I'd like to do some airbrush detail on the truck when I do finally get it done. So that's the first color that's going to get laid on. I've got a gallon coming with it didn't come with any reducer, but it does come with hardener, so I may get some reducer and reduce that down, because from what they were talking about in some of the videos, the way it smooths out and lays out and stuff like that, it depends on the temperature and the reducer and all that stuff like that. And I'm sure some of you guys that have done this before are going to know that, and probably comment and, you know, say things like that, but I don't know because I've never done it. So I'm not trying to act like I know everything, because I obviously don't. This is a first time deal, so should be a good time. So I got some 400 wet paper. I've got some 320 grit also that I'll probably knock down with some of the bigger spots. Then I'm going to fill all of these spots in the best I can and try to smooth them out around the rivets. That way they're not like that, because I thought about just painting, but at the same time there's going to be dips and all that kind of stuff, and I just want to get away, because like this one's a pretty decent dip right there, as you can see. So I'm going to fill that in. And some of these right here, I'm going to fill that stuff in. I probably won't do these 2 spots because I'll probably do something else with that. If I wanted to, I might be able to, but those are kind of big. And I don't think that's going to take, and I don't necessarily want to fill them with Bondo or do anything like that just in case it cracks. I could, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. This may take longer than what I expected. It's not like I'm just going to be able to shoot it and get it done and boo bam, it's over and everything's okay, because that's just not what's going to happen. So we'll see how many videos this goes on, but I'm going to try to do it to the best of my ability for being an amateur. And I know that metallic isn't the easiest thing for an amateur to spray. I've seen, and I watched different videos of guys shooting it, and their fails, their I don't know, their wins and their losses with that stuff. So it's just one of those situations. But what I'm going to do right now is go around with this, because anyway there's a run that I got around the rivets that is thicker than other places, I can this stuff's still smooth enough. It's Tuesday, I painted it Friday, so it's been sitting for about 4 days, but it's still soft enough to where I can scrape some of these things down to get this to where it's smooth. Let me try to find one where I'm standing, and I'll try to see if I can show you what I'm basically going to do with this right here. Nope, can't see any. So let's go around to the front here. Hopefully the lighting's not too bad. Maybe I'll just be able to set you on the ladder here, just like this. And we'll go over here to this one right here. See this guy right here? See how the lump is right there on that? You can see that run right in there. Now if I take this and I go smooth enough with it, just with the right angle, I can knock that down just enough to where I'm not going to have to sand that and stress about sanding that too hard, and get that down to where it's almost smooth perfect since I laid this stuff on, and since it did lay on like bed liner. I've got that 320 dry, then I've got that 400 that's a wet, and then I've got another block that is 600, and then I've also got like a 2000 block. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing right now just to start, get this stuff started. That way I can smooth some of this out, because I want to get all this knocked down first. That way when I do sand, I don't have to worry about cutting into anything and have anything sticking up. So I'm kind of glad that I did spray that, shoot it with a primer, but it will probably get another coat of sealer before I put any paint on whatsoever. And I'm probably going to have to order some more, because I just don't think 1 gallon of that's going to cut it. But that's just going to be the base before I add any other colors. So we'll see. And that's what I've chose to go with. So nobody needs to tell me what colors I need to paint my truck, because I'm going to paint my truck the colors I want to paint my truck. And you didn't see the year-end review. I specifically said that I was going to go with the silver, and I'd been eyeing that one for a while. It is it's one of those that kind of changes colors with the light. And yeah, you can see right there, this one I just scraped down, that almost smoothed that out perfectly. So that'll be fine once I get sanding on that stuff to just knock that down a little bit more. And I don't necessarily want to cut into it too much to where I make any divots. So that's you know, I'm just gonna have to be patient with this and take my time. There's no rush in this project. I've come to the conclusion of that within the last couple days, that I have a timeline I want to get it done by. I'll try to get it done by then. If it doesn't happen, at least I'm gonna have the base coat on it by then. So the body work, you know, I'm going to keep on plugging away at the body work, because that's what I want to do. I know it's not going to be perfect, and I understand this is a work truck, but at the same time, it's my work truck. And I still have, you know, for my own self, what I want this truck to look like and how I want it to be presentable. So I don't need those. It's a work truck. You don't have to do all that work into it, because it's my truck and I'm going to do what I want to with it. Now, I don't have to, but at the same time, also don't want to be running around with something that's all gouged up and shitty. So I'll do what I can to fix it, you know, to the best of my abilities, to make it as presentable as I want to, because that's what matters, since it's my truck. So, and that's nothing personal against anybody who may be commenting. Yes, it's your opinion. You're allowed to say what you want to. It's fine, but you know, I also don't have to read your comments or take your advice. I just do what I feel is best for me and my truck and my situation. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to knock all those down. I'll come back with a progress report once I start sanding, and we'll go over how smoothing stuff it's getting in the rougher spots. And maybe once I put some of that glaze in, I'll show you some of that stuff and we'll go from there. But yes, I do know this thing is going to be a pain in the ass, especially when it comes to spraying. Doing everything outside, it's what it is. It's a challenge. Like I just stated a little bit ago, I like a challenge, so I'm fine with having a challenge. So here we go. I pretty much got all this stuff knocked down, and stuff actually was a lot better than what I thought. There's a couple spots where I kind of went in at, but for the most part, all the runs that I have in here are pretty much smoothed down. So now I just need to sand on it. But let's slide up to the top real quick. Well, let's swap out GoPros because you only got 3 minutes left on you, and then we'll go up there and we'll try that stuff. But yeah, all that crap right there besides that bird shit is just some you know, pretty much the stuff I knocked down. And I pretty much had to do a lot of that up there because there was so many spots up there, and like back here was insane because that gun was super thick and stuff. But let's see what this does right here. This is a 320 grit. And that smoothed down pretty good. Besides that green spot in there, that stuff's not too bad. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all. The only thing is now, like, some of that stuff is going to have to get gone over again, and obviously I won't have a GoPro in my hand while I'm holding it. But yes, I'm going to hand sand all of this stuff, and I'll probably use this, and then this is a 400 grit, and then I've got some other 400 grit that I'll probably use on. I'll probably use this just to knock some of this stuff down in the roof because it's a little bit thicker. So just what it is. But yeah, that stuff is actually I'm a little bit more surprised how soft that is and how well that's coming off. So once I sand it all down, then I'll put the glaze on there. Maybe something that doesn't get done until later on this afternoon, because I'm sure this is going to take me a while, and I'm not rushing anything. I'm just going to take my time and just do the old thing at the turtle pace, because, well, that's who wins the race, is the turtle. So all right, let's get up here. Let's get up here and check it out. There's not too many bad spots up here. There's a few, but I haven't gotten anything up here because obviously I haven't climbed up here yet, or you'd have known about it. Like right here, and I'll show you exactly how that just scrapes off. Let's get the spot right there, just like that. Smooths it out. It's pretty nice. And I'll just go over with the sandpaper, and I usually use both hands. That way I can just apply a light pressure with my left. That way I don't dig in, because there's a couple spots where I did dig in on the other side. But once I get it to the right spot, here we go, and get that smooth, and it just smooths right out. So that's what I'm talking about. Now some of this crap right here, I'll probably just have to sand out because it's in those spots like that. But let's climb up here. Like here's a water spot. There's probably going to be paint under that because a couple drips come from the bottom of the gun where the air hose was at, since I didn't have anything to stop the water. So I got a couple spots here and there like that, which isn't that big of a deal, but that's just, you know, that's trucking. So especially when you don't know what you're doing. And I honestly should have pulled that that filter out of that gun, and it might have shot a little bit better. And then I believe that my at the top of the fill jug, I believe that was clogging up, so I wasn't getting the back pressure that I needed, and that's why I was splattering so much on the back when I was shooting that. So yeah, I'm just knocking all these little nubs off. That way when I do sand, it's not just taking that, or that's not getting stuck on the pad, because that's a lot of times what'll happen. Of course, I took my fucking glasses off, and now it's bright up here and I don't have them on, so I'm gonna have to climb back down here in a minute and grab them. But yeah, let's do a spot right here. Let's find something right there. Let's see what it looks like when you sand on it. Let's see if that comes out. actually doesn't do too bad. So yeah, that smooths right out, so that's nice. I'll probably just use this for now, and then just to knock some of this down. And then if there's anything left, I may go with a wet sand. But if it's not sticking to that paper at all, this stuff is actually, that's really nice, and I don't mind that. Now, I want to try to get it as smooth as possible because I don't want any peeling when I actually do go to spray it, but that's why I'll shoot that that primer sealer. That way it's tacky and it'll grab that paint, and hopefully it'll fill this crap in that it needs to and smooth everything out, even though I'm going to smooth everything out. So this is going to be a lighter gray chalk by the time I get done, which isn't that big of a deal. So, and then I'll be able to see any problem spots that I may want to fill with the old glazing, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to get to work up here after I climb down and grab my glasses, and then I'll bring it back when I'm done, because that's just what it is on this kind of a process since it's so long. You know what I mean? Well, after a long day of sanding and prepping the truck, I've got it knocked down almost all the way completely. Up top, I did all that. I mean, this is all gonna need it done again. The only thing I don't have done is the exact extreme far back side of the truck. That's the only thing I don't have knocked down with at least one hit of sandpaper, which I'll get it first thing in the morning. You might be able to see the line up there on the top and the line on the side, light versus dark. There's still a little bit of orange peel and whatnot in here, but it's smooth. So that sandpaper sounds like it's 2000 grit after a little bit, but I mean, there's dust all over the place of this thing, everywhere. It's just everywhere. So I'm done for the day, because it's like almost 7, I think, and my wife says I need to be done because she's ready to eat and stuff. Yeah, I'm done anyway. So I'm gonna grab the blower and blow it off, pick up my crap, clean up. I gotta go inside and clean up, and then may come out first thing in the morning and tackle it again. I'll sand that back down. Now, I did realize that, hey, I've got this thing right here, and I can take the sandpaper because it's the 320 grits and it's the sticky. So if I need to get around these rivets, I can just do this right here and get around these rivets completely. So basically what I'm going to do tomorrow probably is I'll sand the rest of the back down, and then I'll probably fill all this stuff that needs filled, because this has all been hit once, and then I'll go over it again and do a final wet sand or sand until I feel like it's sufficient and it's smooth enough to where I'm happy with it, so I can fill all this crap right here, if you know what I mean. Because I've got everything down to where it's smooth. Look at all that dust in there. Look at all that dust, man. Oh my God, it's dust. It's coming out of there. Hey, cocaine. You need people like me so you can say, hey, there goes the bad guy, you know? But yeah, I've, you know, I'll fill this crap in. And see how that goes. Let that dry, sand it down, and I'll just keep sanding on it until I get that paint and I'm ready to paint it, I guess. That's pretty much the last step, is a lot more sanding and sanding and sanding and sanding and sanding, but that's what it is. It's just a work truck, you know, but it's going to be sanded properly. Best I can do, at least, because I'm just one guy doing everything by myself. I did that all by hand too, just so you know. Look at that hand, and look at that hand. The GoPro is completely covered in dust because I just grabbed it, but I was trucking, man. I just talk about some brokers and shit. Yesterday called about a load. I was ready to go to work. It was Monday. The day before was Sunday. I'd been off for 10 days since I got home last on a Thursday. Took off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, back into a Sunday. Tried to get a load yesterday. Guy says, man, we need this thing picked up right away. It was 104 miles away, Grand Lodge. I said, okay. I gotta grab some fuel. We'll be up. Send me the rate con, get me the information. Calls me back about a half hour later. He's like, oh man, never mind. It don't have to be picked up until later today or tomorrow because a towing company just pulled it out. It was a recovery load going down to Ritchie Brothers, and they it was paying good money for me to go up there and get it at that situation. For me to go up there and get it from the truck stop, take it down to Ritchie Brothers. I could have went up anytime, picked it up during the day, brought it back here, went and dropped it off first thing in the morning. No big deal. And then it turned into, they don't send me a rate con until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then they tell me that it's, well, first he called up and he said, the tow company, it's 10 miles farther than the truck stop. I said, okay, whatever, no big deal, 10 miles. Finally at 5, I get to rate con and stuff. I look at it and it's 33 plus miles. So that's another 66 miles onto my trip that was already me going up there 2 hours to get it and then take it down there, which was another 4 hours. So I just told him, I said, you know what? For what you're paying me, after everything's said and done, it's not going to be worth it for me to get it because it's going to end up being a 3-day load and I'd rather not have it. So I canceled the load at like 5:15 yesterday. I just told him I wasn't going to do it. I hadn't signed any rate con, so nothing will go against me, anything like that, so it wasn't no big deal. Today, while I'm out here doing this stuff, I'm looking for loads. Found one. After I got called from a guy who wanted me to pull a load from Cincinnati over to Baltimore, Maryland. It was probably like a chiller or something like that. Something I'd run before for somebody, broker. Called me up, offered it to me first. I said, no, I don't want to go to the East Coast, blah, blah, explain the whole thing. Told him what I was doing, ain't no big deal. Found a load going from Cleveland to Syracuse that was good money, 360 some miles for like 1,600 bucks, blah, blah, blah. I'm on the phone with a girl for I'm on the phone with her. I talk to her, I call her. She says it's a gooseneck. I said, okay, get me a picture so I make sure I'm straight with it because I don't want it to be a gooseneck and it to be like, you know, ball hitch or something like that. One of those goosenecks. No, it was a 5th wheel hookup. So I said, okay. She sent me pictures. I said, cool. What else do you need? We don't need anything right now. I'll get back with you. I'm waiting on my compliance team, blah, blah. So she gets back to me a little bit later. And she's like, we need your insurance paper. This is like, I talked to her within like 10 or 15 minutes after a half hour of me calling her probably the first time. She calls me. She says, okay, you're good, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, call me back if you need anything else. She calls me back later. She says, hey, we need updated insurance. I said, okay, I'll give you one that says register monitoring insurance services on it. She says, okay, that's fine. I send it over to her. Next thing you know, she says, oh, after she tells me, you're good for the load, everything's approved, you're fine, we're just waiting on this insurance from my compliance team. Then she says, I said, okay, just call me back, let me know, blah, 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 because I'm in the middle of doing this and I'm trying to get back to this. She's like, oh, wait, Mr. Chad, on the phone, while I'm on the phone with her, she says, oh, they gave it to another carrier. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So that's trucking, man. I thought, you know what? It just wasn't meant to be this week. I'm not going to stress out about things. It'll happen when it happens. As long as I can continue to work on this thing, I'll be happy to do that. Like, I was pissed yesterday about the whole situation. Watched all those videos last night, so it helped me grasp some things. And then this morning I woke up and, well, I only slept like probably 2.5 hours, but I wasn't as mad. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take my time, work on this thing, and get the best I can be. And that's why I went and grabbed that stuff. So these are still going to need smoothed down a little bit more, but I was just knocking the stuff down for now. Like, these didn't turn out too bad. They'll still need a little bit more of attention, like right in here in different places, but I am going to put that stuff in there. So, but yeah, I still need to do around the rivets a little bit with that. I just was trying to get the whole truck covered, you know, with taking breaks and stuff like that, because doing everything by hand, it's kind of a pain, but it'll hopefully turn out in the long run. If not, we'll have a wobbly mess. It'll be a 50-50 truck like it always was from the beginning. Looks good from 50 yards away. It's kind of scary up close. And that, my friend, is the Frankenstein. Well, we're at day 2 of hand sanding and trying to get this thing smoothed out. Fun fact, there's about 250 rivets from right here, right there, over the passenger side, up the top to the back, somewhere around there. I don't know, I counted, but my counting could be off. And I hand sanded all this crap the last 2 days. I've got to put some glaze in some of these spots. I'm gonna glaze up there, but that door's actually probably gonna get the sander, because I don't like the way that is from all that filler I put in there. It's kind of lumpy and crumpy, and all this stuff right here is going to get some glaze just to smooth that out a little bit, because it's kind of rough. Oh yeah, see, I don't ever see anybody's videos where they go up close like that, and I'm showing you this stuff because I figured, why not? I'll let you know that's kind of crap I'm dealing with. No, I don't necessarily want that on there, because when I paint that, that's still going to be on there, so I want to try to eliminate that if I can. Yes, I'm well aware that the monster wasn't perfect that Frankenstein built. Neither will mine. This truck will never be perfect. I've stated that I don't know how many times, but you know, it's like Captain Obvious. I get it, but I still want to fix it because it's kind of gross, and I don't want to paint that and then have that divot there. You know what I mean? So I'll take as much time and effort as I want to do this. But yeah, this needs a wash too once I get done. You can see where I would use the disc and spin it halfway side to get up in there on that stuff. When I was trying to get around those rivets, because I hand sanded around all those rivets. Let's take this right here. This is just an old piece of half sandpaper that I would use, and that'll come right out just like that. So bam, now it's gone. But I will wash this thing after I put that glaze on there, then I'll sand it down again, then I'll probably get some rattle can primer and just hit the spots that I need to, and then I'll hand sand around all that stuff one more time, give it a bath, and then I will you know, wash all this stuff off and clean it out. Then I will probably, well, I honestly don't need to, but I mean, I would rather get all that dust and crap off before I start wet sanding it, because that'll be the next thing. And what's going to happen when I wet sand it, I'm going to do one section at a time. I'm not just going to move around the whole truck like I've been doing, because I've been just moving around the whole truck. You know, I would do one section at a time, then move to the next. But when I wet sand it, I will do one section at a time until I'm done, and I won't stop doing that one section until I feel like it's good. So I could spend, you know, who knows how long it's going to take me just to do that section, but that's what I'll do. I had a guy comment on the Facebook that I'm friends with, and he stopped over, like, I don't know, a month ago when I was first putting that pinstripe on it, and we talked for a while, and we talked about some stuff, and he was like, man, you're just doing it all. I'm like, yeah. But he told me, he said on Facebook, he commented on the picture I had posted after I'd got the truck primered up, and he said it took them 2 weeks. They spent 2 weeks sanding his truck down. So I just thought, I can believe it, because fortunately when I shot this stuff, it didn't lay smooth, because I didn't take out, I should have taken out the that screen in the gun, which I didn't. So it's just adding more work, but at the same time, I didn't want to just shoot it the way it was. I could have just scuff and shot it, but I didn't even think about the glazing stuff until James Pretty had said something. Then I watched other people's videos, like the Team Skeet or Team Steam, and then Skeet, I think that's something else. And then the Dane Scott video where he was putting glaze on and stuff like that. So I figured, why not? If it's gonna help it, it's gonna help it. Yes, I know Frankenstein wasn't perfect. Frankenstein is not perfect. This truck will never be perfect, man. Trust me, there's plenty of flaws still. Plenty of flaws. But that's what it is. I mean, that's what it is. I don't mind the primer gray look, to be honest with you. I don't like sitting back on the porch, and the white is in it. It makes it look like a lighter gray, which I don't mind that at all. But yeah, I just hand sanded all that stuff with discs, different discs. I'd take a break, check the load boards, drink some beer, things of that nature, you know what I mean? And just keep moving around, and then grab a new disc and go after it for a while. But I will do that first thing in the morning. Probably I'll start throwing that stuff in. I mean, as long as there's no moisture on the truck, I'll start throwing that stuff in and fill that glaze on and fill some of those spots, and then hit that with a sander. And then once I get done, well, my hand or the other hand that's holding you, do that, and then I'll give it a proper wash, pressure wash, and Dawn soap bath, because that's what I do. And then I will continue on with the wet sand, and I'll just get as smooth as possible, because my paint's going to be coming. I'm going to end up leaving though, I guarantee that, because I'm not going to sit around for too much longer doing this stuff. It's time for old chatty boy to get back to work. I've seen a couple things, called about a couple things today, but nothing happened. One load going out to Sturgis, South Dakota. It's power only. So I call them up, talk to them about it, and they're like, yeah, well, you pick the trailer up in Columbus, then you take it to Strongsboro or some shit like that, Ohio, and get it loaded. So it's picking up a trailer in Columbus, then going to Cleveland to get loaded with an empty trailer, then heading out to Sturgis, then stopping halfway along the way and getting empty, and then taking the other half onto Sturgis and dropping the trailer, which it's going to sit there for a month. And they're like, yeah, it's for a trade show or something, because I know the motorcycle rally's getting ready to come up. So I asked them if that was what it's for, because I'm like, man, I ain't never been out there. It'd be cool to go out there and you know, deliver something for that. But then when they told me the whole BS of, you know, go here, pick up a trailer, go there, blah blah blah, I'm like, well, the rate's kind of cheap, I'd need this much. And like, well, we could probably do that. And then after I said, you know what, don't schedule me on it, because I need to think on this for a while. And then after thinking about it for a while, because I would have basically been dropping that final trailer on Tuesday, because Monday would have been the first day, and I would end up sitting 2 or 3 times to get loaded and unloaded. I just said, you know what, that ain't worth it to me. That's not enough money. At breaking it down, and that's just me breaking it down in my head, I said it may have been a little bit more, but it would have been around $300 a day to do that. I said, I can't work for that, dude. I'll sit at home for that. I don't even care. If I'm going to do that, I might as well hook back up and pull containers or something and stay home and be home every day and be able to do this shit every day. But I don't want to. I like what I do. I like my life that I have, so I'm not complaining about it at all. But I'm also not going to run cheap freight. I watch the load boards constantly, and I see brokers post a load for a certain amount of money. A couple hours later, they'll get a little bit desperate and post something. And I called about a load yesterday. Said, well, what's the rate on this? They didn't have anything posted. They're like, it's 700. I said, okay, that's not enough for me to do it. Then later on in the day, I see it for 800. Then today it's like 950, and I'm like, okay, so you could have just given me all the money when I called the first time, because I pulled loads for you before, and I'm already in your system with my insurance and everything like that. But you don't want to. You want to try to make money on it. And then I seen another one today, and I thought the same thing, and I'm like, dude, definitely not going to just pull your shit. And that's why I'm always like, what's the best rate you can give me, because I want all the money. I'm the one out here doing the work. You're just sitting behind a computer punching some numbers. So if you can't give me all the money, I can't run your load. And I'm not desperate. So it's not like I'm working on building my authority and stuff like that and getting some good rapport, you know what I mean? I'm established well enough to where I know what I'm worth, and my shit won't move for an extra $100. So it's what it is. And I'm not trying to get home because, well, I'm already here. The beer's a lot cheaper, and so is the food. Not to mention the views, if you know what I mean. So with that being said, I'm going to shut her down for the day. Go inside, take a shower, eat some food, and hang out with the beautiful little Miss Muffet. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I'm trying to get you in on everything because I want to give a full detail of what I do. I don't want to just cut you out. That's why, like the sanding and stuff, I'm not going to show you all that because it's just so long. But anybody that's done this knows it's a lot. So that's why I'll skip past that. But when the good stuff comes, I'll try to do the best I can to get you in the whole time. So, oh man, good morning. Happy Friday. And I got some exciting news. My paint's coming. Just checked. Went through yesterday and I sanded all this stuff down with the sander because I came out yesterday and I could see a bunch of ripples in this section from where I put that filler on, and I didn't really like it. So went back through with some 320 in the discs and hit all that stuff, and then I got a block sander and hit up by all the rivets by hand, and I can still see where there is some where the indents are at on that. So what I'll do now is I'll put some glaze on and then sand that down, and I've got a couple cans of sealer that'll... Okay, take two. Camera always wants to cut out for some reason when I leave the shit out in the garage. 45% battery, but it still wants to cut out and say there's no battery. Anyway, just got done giving the truck a wipe down on around all the rivets and stuff. As I was saying before I got cut out, I could go like this yesterday and I could see how wavy it was from that filler. So I took the I started with a sanding block, and then I made it easier on myself and just got the old orbital out and cleaned up the best I could. So I'm going to go around with this glazing spot and fill in these spots right here and sex all that stuff up before I do the wet sand, because that my paint is coming. So if I can get the truck wet sanded all down today, that'll be fantastic, because then I can tape it up in the morning and probably shoot it again if I want to, which I do. I want to get it done as soon as possible. That way it can sit and I can go, and then, you know what I mean, do what I need to do, go back to work because I need to, and then I can come back and start doing detail shit to it when I want to. You know, I'd really like to get it on this weekend. It'd be fantastic if I could. So hopefully I can get all this taken care of today. I know that's a lot of stuff, but that's why I'm out here starting early. But yeah, I just went through and wiped it all down with Windex, all the spots that I needed to fill. I'll need to get up on the top right there where the glass is at and do a couple spots up there, but I'm not necessarily worried about it right now because I don't even know if I'll be able to use this and get around all the spaces. I may need to go get another of this tube. Hopefully not. I'm going to go thin on the stuff because I don't want it to be too overbearing, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's what's going on. And then I'll shoot that again with just some cans of the sealer. That way it's on there after I do all this, and then I'll do the whole truck once I get all that stuff taken care of. So we will return here after a bit, and we'll go through the motions. Well, we got all this done. We're going to go through now and hit it with 220 around the rivets where the primer's at, then probably go back and do 320. Some of that stuff I'll hand sand on the door and stuff. I won't be able to get that sander in there. I'm going to use the orbital because I think that'll be easier just to do, whip in and out of there real quick, the spots that I can get, and then I'll use my hand for everything else. But that took forever. I almost did every single one of them because they needed it. Now we're not going for perfect, we're just going for better than what it was. So yes, I know this is a work truck, but then at the same time I still want to keep it a little bit more decent and presentable than what it was. I tried to hit this with some 320 right here that it was already kind of used and stuff like that, and it just wasn't coming off very well. That's why I decided I'll just bust out the orbital real quick and bam, hit them fast. Well, shutting her down here, I got almost the whole truck sanded again, and all that stuff from that filler, except for right there on the back. Up there on the top I need to sand still. I need to jack the cab up so I can get to that, since those brackets are in the way there. Yeah, cut back through. But yeah, most of that stuff don't look too bad. I still need to do some detail around the rivets, but other than that it should be all right. This side still needs sand over here because I just I'm tired of standing, and starting to sweat real bad under the mask. The glasses were fogging up, and I've been doing this since like 8, so it's about 4 o'clock right now. I figured it's a good time to shut her down, go shower and hang out with my wife, see what she's up to. I'll do that in the morning. I'll finish everything up pretty much in the morning. I did talk to Ray from Team Steam, and he suggested that I shoot on a cloudy day when it's overcast with a slow reducer if I'm doing it outside with acrylic enamel. So I won't be doing it tomorrow, unfortunately, because it's supposed to be like 80 and sunny unless something changes. And then Sunday the same pretty much, except for hotter. I think it's supposed to be close to 90. And so I guess I'll just finish it up, and it can sit here until I get the right time to be able to do it with the paint that I've got and what I've chose to use, or it'll look like complete dog shit. But it is the Frankenstein truck, so you never know what'll happen. I mean, worst case scenario, if I don't like it, I just take the shit off. I've been sanding for like the last month now, so what's new? What'll be anything different? Nothing. But yeah, that's what's going on now. Need to clean it up too, because it's all super dusty. But yeah, didn't think you were gonna see it like this again, did you? The old green popping back out. Yeah, that's what time it is.